We have a statement in the company. We're a positive, proactive, productive family team environment. But positive and proactive, those are some key words there.
Some inherit a company, others inherit a calling. J. Lennox Scott is the third generation leader of John L. Scott Real Estate, a Pacific Northwest legacy founded in 1931 and still family owned 94 years later. Under Lennox's leadership, John L. Scott has grown to more than 100 offices and 3,000 brokers across Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and California, consistently ranked among the top 20 most productive brokerages in the nation, transacting tens of thousands of homes each year.
We are so blessed to be in the real estate industry where we get to fully express ourselves, not only in business, but really in life.
From leading industry innovation and championing diversity at NAR to helping raise over $20 million for children's hospitals through the John L. Scott Foundation, Lennox embodies leadership with heart. From sign painting kid to nationally ranked industry influencer, Lennox Scott's story is about legacy, service, and the power of purpose.
And that's our higher purpose of the company is around this conversation of one of the greatest joys of living life is being a contribution to another person.
Please welcome to this episode of Real Estate Unscripted, J. Lennox Scott, Chairman and CEO of John L. Scott Real Estate.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you all are in the world. And Lennox, good morning to you.
Well, Darryl, thank you for the invitation to join you today. You're an industry leader, and it's what a joy for me.
Thank you. I appreciate that so incredibly so much. And so, gang, let me share with you. I'm going to do a little bit of also housekeeping and a little bio about Lennox and the company. The reason why. So, first of all, those of you, I know we have different groups on the. We have two groups on here. We've got leaders. And we also have some agents, and some of them are power agents, our coaching members. This podcast is really for leaders. And the reason why I do invite and encourage the agents to attend, if you're if you're an agent, I want you to listen through this conversation as somebody who is a business owner, a leader, because you are. Even as an agent, you have, just like McDonald's Corporation is the company, and then you've got the individual store owners. As an agent, your McDonald's is your broker. But just like an individual franchise owner, you are running a business within your business. And so listen through your own leadership needs as a business owner. Now, as far as Lennox and the company, John L. Scott started in 1931 in Seattle. And by the way, Lennox, please correct me if I'm wrong on any of this stuff. But now you guys are 100 offices, 3,000 agents, 12 billion in sales, which, by the way, I may need to ask you for a loan. And let's see, you are the grandson of John L. Scott, who originally started. Is that right?
That's correct. And my dad was the second generation leader. I'm third generation. My daughter is in the company. She'll be fourth generation.
Well, that's going to put you in a very special group. I did some research about generational businesses, and getting to the fourth generation, I think that puts you in the top 1% of all companies that are in that fourth generation. So that's pretty awesome. And I got to tell you, Lennox, I couldn't believe this. Is this true that you became the CEO in your mid-20s?
Yes. Unfortunately, my dad passed away early, and I came into the ownership of the company at that time at age 25. And that was actually, it was age 23, but I became CEO age 25.
Okay. Now I've got to ask you, this is not in my original questions, but I've got to ask you, what was that like for you? 25, how many agents was the company at that time when you took it over?
We had 260 broker associates at that time, and now we've grown to the three-state area: Washington, Oregon, Idaho. But at age 25, I became CEO January 1st of 1980. Well, interest rates just 3 months later went up to 16%.
I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the foundation items is I didn't know. I was just brand new, 25 into leadership. So we created instantly a collaborative environment, and that continues today.
Well, there's a note everybody should take is that sometimes from events not planned like this, that you can actually have a breakthrough from something like that, where it forced you to, instead of being the head honcho, you made it collaborative because that was such a smart move, and that's part of your culture today. Love that. Okay, so let's jump to these questions that I've got, and so. Uh, Being that the company started in 1931, that's a 90 plus years heritage. That could be an anchor or it could be a sale. How do you keep tradition without letting it limit innovation? Because you guys are very innovative.
Well, we have a statement in the company. We're a positive, proactive, productive family team environment. But positive and proactive, those are some key words there. Many people try to frame us as being traditional and that's a bad thing. Well, there's core values that come out of being a company 94 years, 95 next year in 2026. But we are so proactive. We're a company. We continually read, we go to seminars, we implement, we embed programs into the company. We have brainstormer groups, mastermind groups. As a company, for the collaboration, we have strategy meetings with our executives and, of course, our office leadership team on a continual basis. We just put out a topic and we're listening, get other people's ideas. I bring in my own thoughts to it. And that's what helps us keep moving forward.
Awesome. Very, very awesome. Um, let's see, your higher purpose as a company. I found this living life as a contribution. So, first of all, I just love that. Um, can you explain to us what does that mean and how does that show up in the day-to-day operations?
Well, of course, for all of us in the industry, transactional excellence is what we do within our business. But we took a look at this years ago, and we were saying, what's the higher purpose of who we are as a company? What are we all about? We have the positive energy of all those associated with our team, our office leader, support team, broker associates, our service center team. We all bring our positive energy together, but what are we creating? And so we try to frame what we're all about. And our John L. Scott Foundation, we committed to children's hospitals. And so we help sponsor 30 events a year that help raise money for 17 children's hospital. And those 30 events a year help raise $20 million each year. And on top of that, we serve dinners at Ronald McDonald houses. We cook 50 dinners, serve 3,500 meals each year. And it's really about the experiential of being a contribution to a family and their child at the most important moment of need. And it's being a contribution to them just in life. And then we carry that forward to being a contribution to our clients, supporting our teammates, of course, kids at Children's Hospital. And then we take this home with us for family and friends, community, and place of faith. And that's our higher purpose of the company is around this conversation of one of the greatest joys of living life is being a contribution to another person.
I so love that. I think a lot of, unfortunately, leaders, perhaps even the smaller brokerages that are trying, they've got their plates full, struggling, trying to figure out how to keep the lights on, inspire, agents and to take action, which is sometimes like herding cats. So they've got these challenges and they miss something I think that you just brought out, which is really important, is knowing who you are in the matter of your business and having a purpose or commitment statement or mission statement, whatever you want to call it. It helps crystallize for the broker and the agents who they are in the matter of their business. And like with our power agents, our coaching members, What we tell them, Lennox, is that I believe who they are agents who are committed to making a difference in the world, and they've chosen real estate as the profession to express that commitment. And so when they have that clarity, it does, as I said off camera, that dictates their strategies and what they do because they know who they are. So that's awesome. Okay.
Darryl, I love what you're saying on this about expression. We are so blessed to be in the real estate industry where we get to fully express ourselves, not only in business, but really in life. And to be our very best, and to be that contribution, just to walk in joy in what we're doing. What a great industry.
Absolutely. And Lennox, I know you would agree with this that when an agent lists a house or they help a buyer get a house, what they do is much bigger than just list and sell because the house is a person's next level in life, right? It's
Right.
part of a bigger picture, right? It's not just about selling a house. It's about moving from point A to point B because of a job transfer, a marriage, a divorce even. But the whole moving is a next level for people. And what agents do is much more than list and sell. They actually make a difference in people's lives, helping people get to their next level.
You bet.
So, yeah. Okay. So, what are the 2 to 3 non-negotiables that keep a multi-market brokerage like yours healthy, no matter what the cycle is? Buyer's market, seller's market, interest rates, yada, yada.
Well, we have a couple of expressions. One of them is vital few and then important many. Everything's an important many. There's only two items that really drive the revenues of our brokerage companies, and that is selective recruiting and everyone productive. And within that, we have another saying, good to great, great to greatness. So it's not just everyone productive, that new broker getting productive, or our achievement group moving up. It's great to greatness. It's about helping we're a company of successful brokers and top producers. It's helping them in business and in life, but to move their business forward.
Mm.
How can we help them do a couple more transactions or get more balance in life? Help them with their infrastructure. All those things come into play. So it's the whole team. We're built as a company for success in helping each individual broker associate.
Awesome. Now, by the way, talking point for everybody, whenever I hear the brilliance come out of Lennox's mouth, I want to highlight it for y'all. So y'all should be taking notes. And we're going to open up the call to questions, about 40 minutes into this. So if you start to think of a question that you want to ask Lennox based on this topic and this conversation, make sure you go to the Q&A on the Zoom panel and you can write it now so that way you don't forget it. I want to highlight what you just said, Lennox, about some of your expressions and sayings, because I think that's important for all the leaders to know this, is that also gives clarity when you have those expressions, right? Like, so for power agents, we tell them we don't sell, we serve.
Right.
We don't close, we coach. And there's a whole definition and explanation between those two, which I won't go into. But when you have those expressions, those mottos, it helps anchor the culture of the company. So Disney does it with things like don't call them employees, they're cast members. You're going on stage and backstage. Examples of that. Okay. Where are you helping agents win today, like lead gen, listing prep, negotiating, post closing, lifetime value? What changes have you made perhaps in the last 24 months in that arena?
Well, just as we have vital few and important many for us as a company, we also have vital few, important many that we focus on to help our broker associates, help them focus. But there's only one vital one, and that's a business development activity. It's personal database engagement. That's the only vital one. It's 80% of our listings. And we've all in as a company, all of our departments are totally focused on helping our broker associates with that one item. We walk in excellence in skill mastery of purchase agreements, seller marketing presentations, negotiations, a buyer representation, a referral fee disclosure. all those things we already walk in excellence. That's what we just do day to day. But to help people keep focused on the one item that's going to vault their business forward, that's what we help our broker associates.
Awesome. Can you explain that one a little bit more?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so a personal database engagement. We have a database system to put their names in, and
Okay.
we another item we have is we flip the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is 20% implement, and they get 80% of the business. Well, at John L. Scott, we want 80% plus to implement, and to be in the top 20% of the industry. And
Mm,
so where that comes in is we'll help them do it. We'll get their names into the system because 80% just don't really have the aptitude or fortitude to get their names into the system. We'll do it for them. Our support team is just gold, our office leaders in helping them. But then it's bigger than that. We call it database engagement ask to help generate more business. We need to outperform the market right now. We want to help them reach their goals of what they want to achieve. So we need to get 50% of our business referrals from those in our database. Well, you got
mm,
to have a database and then engage on a periodic basis throughout the year. And that might be on home anniversary or the client events. We have foundation items of a housing update, maybe their video monthly update, those sorts of things, so that we periodically keep the conversation alive with them, me for them for me, reciprocity, trust with each other, all those things. But then it's also the third component is ask in the appropriate way for that individual person. So that might be, of course, we all know of after contingencies are removed, just having that quick conversation. Well, this is exciting. You can start packing. We're moving towards closing right now. I know you're going to tell your friends and family about it, and just want to let you know if any of them are thinking of moving, if they have any questions, just please give me a call. That's asking in the appropriate way. In their 1 minute market update video or half a minute, whatever they want to make it, putting that 6-second anchor at the end of it. Oh, by the way, if any of your friends or family are thinking of moving, if they have any questions, please give me a call, because I've earned the right to be able to offer my services, my trusted, valued services to their friends and family, but I need to keep it triggered. Otherwise, it's forgotten. And they don't think of me at that nanosecond, especially
mm,
in the AI world. We're going to the nanosecond
mm.
thought pattern, and if I'm not already engaged, I don't get the lead, or there's no lead, or they're off to somebody else.
Awesome. I want to highlight for everybody, if you haven't picked up on something that I just picked up and listening to you speak, Lennox, you reminded me about, I did some training years ago when I was working for Floyd Wickman teaching sweat hogs when I first started. And there was a summer that I took a break from teaching that course and did training for Chrysler, because they were rolling out a new series and they were training all the stores. And I was one of 150 trainers. And there's something I learned in that training, because it was their training, I was just delivering it, that there's two types of customers. There's the external customer and there's the internal customer. And the external customer in real estate would be our buyers and sellers. But for the broker or manager, their internal customer is the agents and their staff. And what I'm hearing is clear that who you are is you got that distinction that your customer is your broker associates as well. And because I'm not hearing you're talking about company dollars, we're doing this so we make more. I'm hearing how can we help our broker associates? And that's an important distinction, I think, that every leader needs to understand. So thank you for that. Okay, let's see what else. But what do you have? Okay, you know what? Let me jump to some, because you were talking about some tech. I know you're strong in this arena too. Can you share just some of the tech that you are proud of, that you feel you've either implemented recently or whatever, that's really made a difference for the broker associates?
Well, there's quite a bit of technology that we all use in the industry.
Right.
So we take the approach of embedding technology. We know not everybody's going to use it, but when we work with our tech vendors, we want it embedded, and then we take it on as a company. If it's that important to have this as a service to our brokers, we'll take on the promotion and the training within the company to build up users within that technology. But if it's not embedded, it's out of sight, out of mind. Nobody uses it. We get that 5-10% usage. Well, we only bring in technology and programs where we want 80% plus getting involved with the system. And so, of course, we have our internal CRM program and our whole training and everything, John L. Scott Engage program. A lot of that is on Salesforce with a property base system. Canva AI, we just rolled out within the company. Cloud, of course, Cloud CMA, Bear Printing, SkySlope. We have internal companies, Priority Home Lending, which is a cornerstone mortgage company, First American Home Warranty. We're part of leading real estate companies of the world, and their luxury portfolio program is embedded into the company. We have AI home search through List Assist, just fabulous. So we're implementing AI in the company through our tech vendors on all the programs we're currently using. We will go to an AI accounting system in about a year. We're waiting for them to get all up to speed to coordinate everything and a database and all that into one. So that's on its way, and we're looking forward to a fully integrated AI system.
Wow, that's incredible. And that's powerful. Again, what you said, one of the challenges that brokers have is they bring in a new tech or a new something, and the adoption rate is horrible. And for most of them, and you just answered it. You've got to bring it in-house. You've got to be as committed to that new tech as you want your agents to. And so you live by example by bringing it in, and you're going to deliver the training, and you make it part of the company culture, and you push it until you hit that 80%.
Yeah, we're
awesome.
definitely partners with our technology vendors and our program service vendors.
Awesome. Okay, gang, I'm just reminding you, you have questions, things should be popping up for you, and you should be writing them in the Q&A, because you've got a great opportunity here to hear from Lennox, get your question answered. Okay, at this, let me see here, accountability would say, okay, so at your scale, how do you keep office leaders aligned and accountable without stifling local initiatives?
Well, our company is our office leaders are gold. I'll just put that out there right away. They implement their strengths, their personality, and we have these conversations of who we are as a team and who are they as an office. What do they want to be? What's their higher purpose of what they want to accomplish? And boy, are they ever great coaches and leaders. For the skill mastery, but the deal doctoring, but the relationships they have with our broker associates and helping bring the best out of them and help them keep focused for that individual broker associate. So I have a definition to leadership. Leadership means being responsible for the conversation and keeping the conversation alive. Otherwise, it disappears. And so what is the conversation? What's important for that office leader to implement? They have their vital few. We do company-wide, and we have strategy meetings just on those two items, selective recruiting and everyone productive. But it's way bigger than that. It's a meeting with their top producers. I run mastermind groups of top producers within the company. Those sorts of things. And so what we work with on a throughout the year, there's different cycles throughout the year. Of the beginning of the year, we know we get into more of a stronger market activity-wise, intensity to the market, and then the majority of listings and transactions over the summer, and then the fall we need to get repositioned some of the homes to get them sold before year end. And so there's ebbs and flows, and then to the economy. Boy, we're in another cycle right now we had the 2022 when interest rates went up. And then we had the tariff talk March 21st of this year. And now we have the government shutdown, which has changed the market a little bit, about 10 to 15% in transactions just within the last 3 weeks. Great September because of lower rates, but then we got taken back off the table in October here. So we'll see how it looks at when we get the government back in gear here in the next week or so. So we talk about these different cycles throughout the year just to keep the conversation alive, and what can we implement now, put extra focus. And the best example is coming up this fall. We have November, December. Well, we know because of the 3 holiday weeks, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, there's just fewer transactions. Daylight saving times end. It's the time of year. And so we focus in on our statement is, 'tis the season for joy and engagement, because we need to amp up our engagement and walk in joy and just appreciate the season and relationships with everybody, with family and friends, but also engage with our client base. What a fabulous time to implement at a higher level, because I have more time as we go into year 2026.
Can you give that definition of leadership again? Because I know my president, Julie, said, "Oh my God, that was so great. What did he just say?" So can you say that again, please?
Sure. Leadership means being responsible for the conversation and keeping the conversation alive. Now, how we implement that internally is we assign the conversation to different executives, and I will be on their team. And I'm always reading everything. I'm sending them articles. I work the hallways. I'll go down and chat with them, but they're in charge of the conversation. They call the meetings. They get the program set, and we collaborate with each other and just keep the energy up to move these things forward.
And I just realized one of the reasons why I relate and appreciate you so much, Lennox, is because it just dawned on me right now, you are very similar to my mentor, my broker, when I was an agent at 19, because you said something that's so powerful, and I want everybody to get this, the brokers and managers especially, is that you use the word cycles, seasons, whatever. So when there's any major change in the industry, whether it's the weather, the time of year, or an event, that what I hear you saying is that you coach your agents that, okay, based on this time of year or based on this economy thing, this is where we need to be. This is what we need to do. So it's not just because some brokers, they don't use what's happening out, what season or events, to motivate the agents. They'll say, okay, oh my gosh, the tariffs, what do we do? Is that going to be a problem? And the brokers that don't get this, they might say, no, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep listing and selling. No, we should use what's happening out in the world as a reason to inspire the team. Yes. And that's what I just heard you share.
And here's a good example. Back March 21st of this year of 2025, the tariff talk got going. Well, the market rolled over. We went from frenzy market back down to strong. Strong's still good. It's way better than healthy. But there was a change. And every time you shift like that, when multiple offers come off, premium pricing comes back down to market price. Well, that's a 10% drop in price. It happens one day, but it takes the market 6 to 9 months to adjust, and we're just almost complete with the full adjustment. But then right after March 21st, buyers start wondering, what's the real price? Because then the listing price is just the asking price. But what's the real market price? You can't use comps pendings before March 21. Any closings are pending before March 21 because we're in a whole new market. And so we really brought out about buyer CMAs on the chosen home that the buyer was looking at so that they can have eyes wide open. So here's the buyer CMA, here's the list price. I still need to negotiate it because the seller's not going to take my price. I'm not taking their price, but at least I can have a conversation with the listing broker to present to the seller about what is the new market price. And it's okay to buy and sell within same market timing. It depends on if that seller's also buying, because maybe they can buy right and then lower their price here to sell right and be able to be in motion in today's market.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. All right. Now I have to ask you a question that wasn't in my original list of questions because my power agents especially have been asking me a lot about this. And so I'm interested to get your take on this. What's your thoughts about the Zillow and ChatGPT situation?
Well,
And
it's
by the way, for those just for any of the
yeah.
attendees that are not familiar, when you ask any real estate stuff in ChatGPT, it now is going to Zillow. So there's some free advertisement for Zillow on that. But anyway, so Lennox, go ahead. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's a marketing play by Zillow,
Right.
but the listings should not pop up on chat. They should have to be directed back over to the Zillow website. IDX was designed that we share each other's listings. We were the first in the nation up here in the Northwest MLS in 1996 to share all of our information with each other. And so people that went to your website or your clients, people that come to my website or my clients, and it was for marketing. So that our public that we had relationships with could come to one site and see all the inventory available. I don't know that in the chat that they can go right and look at listings without going to somebody's website based on marketing. So
Okay.
the industry will filter this out in the coming month or so about what is going to be the situation around that.
So your gut is, do you think this is something an agent should be concerned about or not really?
I'm going to be concerned about is my relationship with those in my database, keeping engaged throughout the year, and then in asking in the appropriate way to keep them triggered to give referrals and resources in life to me, just like I will send them referrals, my clients in their business or resources in life. That's where all the business takes place. Just look at all the traffic Zillow gets right now. Very few people buy through Zillow. They just go there because they advertise. That's why people go to Zillow. That's why people went to Redfin and other people. They advertise. But if the relationship trumps everything, it trumps AI, it trumps media, it trumps competition. That trusted relationship. So that's what we're focused on. We're going to control our own destiny, and we're focused in on the helping our broker associates with their relationship with their individual clients.
Now you see brokers and managers. That's exactly what I was just talking about. Lennox just demonstrated what I said about using an event to motivate the troops. So when I asked him that question, he said, "This is why that personal relationship is so much more important. This is why you should be connecting with your database, with your people." So he used this ChatGPT question to say, "Well, because of that, this is what you should do." Brilliant. Okay. Well, I don't know about the rest of you all, but I'm having a great time over here. I think this is one of our best interviews. All right. Now, let's see what else we got. I want to get to Market Ready Plus. Could you walk us through the economics and the risk control of fronting pre-sale improvements? And obviously, a lot of people may not know what that is. Do you mind sharing that?
Well, Market Ready Plus is just a internal branded name for a program where we found a resource that we loan money to the seller to get their home market ready. And that might be internally with a carpet, with the kitchen, or the yard, whatever it takes, or staging for that home to showcase it in the best light to get the best price. So, Darryl, my word of the year for real estate is positioning. In a market where there's more homes on the market right now, and not every home selling the first week or two, I need to position my seller within their peer group. And peer group is the other homes that buyers would also look at in addition to my seller's home. So how am I help? And I talked about this in my seller marketing presentation about positioning and about peer group. so that they can that seller can focus in. Okay, not there's only 3 out of 10 selling each month, or 2 out of 10. There's 3 price reductions. What happened in my peer group last month before I brought my home on the market? What happens each week in my peer group? So I can make have information, so I can make an informed decision if I need to do a price reduction or market ready plus, to spruce up the home and yard. All those things come into play for my marketing. So the company we use is House Amp, because we expanded the program and the amount of dollars by going through House Amp to get these homes ready, to get them positioned to be the next one to sell.
I know of Curbio that they do that same concept where they'll
Yes.
do repairs in advance for a client. They pay the client, they pay Curbio back at closing.
Yes.
So House Ramp, yeah.
House Amp.
House Amp. So they're similar to Curbio, I guess,
Yeah.
doing that same thing. Okay.
This is just fabulous program. And part of this, what's going on in the market right now, is we have buyer gridlock. And so buyer gridlock is, I believe 60% of buyers are sitting in their home with the for sale sign out front. They can't move until they get their current home sold. So how are they going to position their home to be the next one to go under contract so that they can move forward? Or how do they get them positioned as a buyer that the seller might accept a home for sale contingency? That they're fully underwritten ahead of time, the yard, the house, the stage, the photos, the video, all that are in the CMA that they can share with the listing broker of the home they want to purchase, so that seller might accept that home for sale contingency because there's conditions for success. We've checked off all the boxes. Here's the conditions for success. My home is positioned to be the next one to sell, but I want to lock one in before I bring it on, or I've done all these things and we have a lot of showings and it's going to be the next one to sell.
Just for the agents, I want to just point out to the agents how powerful Lennox, what he just said about using the word positioning, because especially as we move from the seller's market to a balance or buyer's market, the homeowners always love to blame the agent that they're not working hard enough, they're not doing enough advertising, whatever. And by talking to a homeowner about positioning like it's a product and how it compares, if a house is not selling, it may be more to do with the positioning, which relates to the competition. How many houses are those buyers looking at compared to yours, the price range and everything else? So how does your house sit positioned with your competition, like any other product or business? And that conversation will take some of the pressure off that you're not doing enough work, you're not doing enough open houses. No, we need to look at where you position. So love that. Okay, the questions are starting to come in. And it seems like DJ Lehman is going to be the winner of the number of questions. This gentleman has added a plethora. So you guys start writing your questions, because I'm going to go jump to those questions. But before I do, I want to do a rapid fire takeaway with you, Lennox. What's one metric that you watch each week in your business?
Well, I look at the percent of homes that go under contract by week.
Okay, very good. Now, you see, now what? I would have expected you would have said, I look at the profitability of each office, which I'm sure you do, but that wasn't the first one you said. The first one you said was about real estate and the market that affects your broker associates. Love it.
I want to know the intensity of the market, because that dictates pricing. Conversation, dialogue that our broker associates can have with their sellers and with their buyers, also on positioning a buyer offer. All that comes into the psychology in the market, how active it is.
Yeah. You're one of my favorite brokers. I've decided. All right. One process every broker should right? One process that every brokerage should make standard this coming quarter or going into the first quarter of 2026.
Well, to make a standard, Of course, it's the database, keep growing engagement. I'll just go a couple other items on that. There's an important day in the summer, International Ice Cream Day. What a great day for a client event. There's Happy Home Anniversary. Okay, here's a research that I heard one time. If you
Okay.
focus on one item, there's an 82% chance of success. Two items, 54, three items, 8. So you focus on one, maybe two items. The only one we're focused on is engagement with those within our database. We're already past just getting people's into our database. We have 386,000 in our broker associates database that we help support. Broker branded to them, only their contact information, will never reassign it to anyone else. But within that, we put out a calendar and items for engagement, items that they can do, a pop by over the holidays, tied in with the charity event, a card for that, the food drives, the Happy Home Anniversary. How many of brokers call their past buyers Happy Home Anniversary? They will only get repeat and referral business forever. I've seen research that 71% of buyers forget their broker's name, their broker associate's name within 1 year.
Yeah.
60% forget within 6 months because they didn't put them into a database. They don't get a monthly update, and they never talk to them ever again. Come on. But the good news of this, what a wide open industry. We get to play in this environment. Let's go.
Yeah. Awesome. And you're right, Julie. I want to send as a gift to Lennox, compile a special PDF just for Lennox, Julie, that has all of our smile stops for the year and the monthly ones that you create. Lennox, we call our Popeyes Smile Stops.
Yes.
And there's an acronym for smile, and it puts a smile on their face, yours, and the acronym. But anyway, so I want to send this to you because I think you're going to really love it. All right, let's do this. Let's go to the questions now. And Julie, do you want to ask them? And so Lennox and I will just focus.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead.
Great stuff so far. We're so in alignment. I love it. Miriam says, Mr. Scott's slogan, vital few is the first part. Can you reaffirm the second part?
Vital few and important many. Perfect. Everything's an important many, just walk in excellence. But those two items that I talked about, we have an executive strategy meeting on those each month for about a 2-hour period on each of those each month with our executives, a collaborative environment that we keep focused. And then we work with our office leaders for implementation.
Awesome. Yep.
DJ says, what are the roles of your director of career development and how are they considered an important member of the team?
The role of career development, vice president of career development, which is our training. But we also have an attorney on staff that does monthly legal updates with our VP of residential success. The two of them do a conversational video at lunchtime that we have office viewing parties that watch this online. In both Washington and Oregon, separate ones, separate laws. So this is a pride point. We have federally registered trademark classes that we brought out on both seller marketing and buyer representation. So we give out designation on those. Of course, open houses and luxury. We teach clock hour classes on all those with designations.
So you have trademark designations in your company?
Now we speak in your language, Darryl.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have federal registered trademark on certified seller marketing specialist and certified buyer representation specialist. We got those started in 2011 on those. We got out in front of this buyer rep deal back in 2011, but we have those internal designations.
Awesome. Okay, Jules, go ahead.
I love it. Besides, you just talked about your watch parties, and besides serving food, how do you get more agents to be involved in sales meetings or coming into the office? Is that important in your company?
We're a company of successful brokers and top producers. This is what we do because it's skill mastery. These are very worthwhile conversations to be involved with. Of course, we went through the whole buyer representation documentation, but it was bigger than that. It's what's my value. We know our value as listing brokers. Boy, do we have extreme value. As our listing broker for a seller, we coordinate 20 different vendors and programs and tools that we use for that seller between consultation and closing. Well, we're moving to that same item on the buyer side. And one of those items I mentioned earlier is that buyer CMA on their chosen home. I need to elevate my what I'm providing to my buyers so they get a clear understanding. I want to help create greater buyer certainty of what the real market price is of the house for eyes wide open. So then we can negotiate it out to see if they really want to move forward or not in today's market. And then we go through the cycle, the different phases of the year of the intensity because it changes as we go throughout the year.
Awesome. Next question. And by the way, I just want to highlight things that jump out for me, for everybody else to see. When a lot of what Lennox is sharing is the language and the words and the titles that he gives. And again, I said it earlier, how important that is. It helps create the company culture. It helps agents remember these talking points, if you will, on how to operate a successful business. Like, I love how you keep referencing mastery. That's one of my favorite words too. Because I tell agents that anybody that knows the martial arts is that when a black belt gets to that level, they don't look at that as an achievement as much as it's a place to live from. And so, like, you never stop learning. And that's true about mastery. So if you're always thinking about mastering your profession, mastering your skill, you never achieve it, but you're living from that commitment. Go ahead, Jules, next question.
Well, and I think going back to even the office meetings, right? You because you vest in that culture and everything, that you make it fun, you make it enjoyable, you make it learned, you make it mastery. So that's what brings people in. It's not whatever crudités you're serving, right? So I love that. Karen said, how do you explain the new comps when the market changes? Where do you get the new comps?
Well, the new comps are going to be from pending sales from that March 21st forward. And I got it. You might need to wait until April so you can pick some of those up because they get reported in. But there was a major change. And when I first bring it up on March 21st that the prices changed 10% in Puget Sound and Seattle area, 5% in Portland and Spokane, people wonder, wow, how can you say that? Well, I've been the leader of the company for 46 years. It's my 49th year in the business, my fifth 10-year cycle that I've been involved with. We know when the market rolls over, when multiple offers come off, we know that's the situation. And I'm able to share all that information, to build a understanding so that they can have that type of conversation. I actually had one broker call up a builder, left my mid-meeting, one of our top brokers, and he went and called his builder and he said, March 21st. And the builder said, what happened? Well, our CEO was here, and that's when the market changed. We need to lower our price down. And they did right then and there because we gave them enough background that our broker associate understood it, felt confident. And that's where it really comes in. Darryl, you know that. It comes in, I'm confident. I feel good about what I'm saying. It's consultation, higher level of consultation. This is a consultation market for both sellers and buyers, not like what we had in the frenzy market of COVID market, 3% mortgages. And we'll have these learning lessons we have now for the rest of our careers.
Awesome.
You're such a hands-on CEO, right, Darryl?
Absolutely. Yes, he is. He is.
This is not a standoff. I'm sitting in the corner office. It sounds like you're in the trenches. You're like everybody's favorite principal walking down the halls. I love it. Karen says,
Julie, I enjoy, I'm in an office meeting or two every week. And so I thoroughly enjoy the relationship with our broker associates, engaging with them in the mastermind groups and our office leaders support team. I get on their calls. It's just part of the joy of being in a family team environment, and to set that foundation for each and every one of us to fully express ourselves. Darryl, I just want to share one item since we have office leaders on the call here. We're a big proponent of books. We listen to them on Audible at 1.5 speed, but the one we rolled back out was Grit. And because we've been in a grit market for 3+ years, double grit since March 21, triple grit since the government shutdown. And there's a video on YouTube, a animated video, 8 minutes. And if I were an office leader, I'd grab that video and show it to your broker associates. We showed our office leadership team first, and then we put it out to the field. And it just affirms who you are. It reminds you that this is a grit market. I just do the activities and the results show up, because 80% of the industry is doing nothing. Isn't that beautiful? They're doing nothing. And so if I just focus in and I do some simple items on a continuous basis, schedule my success, it's going to take 2 sessions a week of 2 hours each, working on your database and engagement to double your business. That's all it takes. But it comes down to schedule your success and reminding people of grit and what in their past did they accomplish that they're proud of. But what did it take to get to that point? Because that's the grit. That's the work you do that shows the grit, and then the accomplishment comes forward down the road.
I'm sure you've already thought of this, Julie, but we're going to look for that video and we'll make sure we get it out to our coaching members. Okay.
We're on it.
I know you're already on it. I just had to say it just because that's my.
No, I love that. And I just put it in the chat. I love that joy is part of your culture. It's part of your business plan. I love that. We're all about smiling as well. Rachel says, do you require production quotas for your broker associates? If so, how do you review monthly or quarterly, or how?
Well, we help our office leaders break out their office to help keep the focus. And so we have our successful brokers and top producers, but then we have a group we call the Achievement Group. And these are individuals on the way up, not quite hitting where we would see a complete successful level. And we have this group. We are now taking everybody through the Ninja program. So I just want to talk about that, their 90-day program.
Yeah.
And that program's all about just doing the engagement activities, but it's also conversational dialogue. And I've worked with coaches, Darryl, what you do in coaching, with Buffini and Tom Ferry, Pam Ehrman, who else is out there? Sherry Johnson. I go to them all. But we wanted to roll out a base program that our office leaders can work with, not just those in their achievement group are new to the industry, but also enroll our successful brokers and top producers to take it up another level or keep that conversation of greatness alive.
And Ninja Training is an incredible space training program that I encourage everybody to look into. And when we talked off camera, Lennox, there's an example too. Ninja doesn't just teach strategies; they teach concepts, and that's why I love that program so much as well. Okay, Jules, go ahead.
DJ says you mentioned Cloud CMA. Is that your go-to for CMAs?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a easy, great system that we've used for a long time.
Okay.
Perfect. Miriam says, I've done or thought a couple of these items, but this is a fabulous level and compilation of business practices. I'm most grateful for this webinar. It's an immense help to me. So awesome. Thank you, Miriam.
Thank you, Miriam. Okay.
DJ
needs
DJ a star.
DJ needs a lot of help. DJ, you need a lot of help, brother.
I love it. Are you seeing agents going inactive in this market or since the NAR settlement conditions?
We're down as a company, maybe out of our 3,000 plus broker associates, maybe 75 on the top line of number of broker associates. Some have chosen to get out of the business, and then we recruit several hundred a year. Half are experienced from other companies, half are new to the industry. But the selective recruiting comes in. And so, Darryl, I'll just share something on that. We have a real estate counselor. We have one person that answers all the calls instantly. and consults with people, and she may spend an hour with them or half an hour or whatever it is, and then help them in the process. Out of all the inquiries we get, we then refer to our office leaders 16% of all the inquiries, and they end up hiring half of them, or 8% of the total. So we're hiring people that will have demonstrated grit. That's one of our conversations we'd have them. She actually speaks that with them about what is it going to take, that they're going to have to call upon that experience in the past to achieve and be in real estate. And we do the skill training right off the bat of presentations, purchase agreements, and then we get business development of their database. And then we get them right into Ninja for implementing the engagement activities and the dialogue, and then mentorship to go on the presentations. So that's how we help our new broker associates get up to speed right away. Otherwise, the chance of success is just so low in today's market.
Gotcha.
I love it. I love it. Denise says, do you require a designated agent agreement along with the signed buyer broker agreement and signed CIS?
Denise, I don't know what CIS is. Do you know what they're
Oh,
referring
good.
to?
I thought I was the only one.
So do you require a designated agent agreement? So that's probably also a licensing state term.
Yeah.
I want to say that a designated agent agreement along with the signed buyer brokerage agreement.
Well, buyer broker agreement, of course. Yeah, that's state law.
Right.
Yeah, we
Okay.
went to our state legislature years ago with Northwest MLS, the realtor industry. We all went together and got that state mandatory
Got it.
for
Okay.
all licensees.
Let me ask you why, just deviate for a second based on that question. Lennox, are you telling the agents to get just the listing side fee on the listing appointment, or are you asking your agents, your broker associates, to get a listing and a selling fee in the listing agreement?
It depends upon the seller. We bring up all the options.
Okay.
Many offer compensation to a buyer representative. In Northwest MLS, we actually get to continue to state what it is. Other
Okay.
MLSs, we don't state it in the on the MLS.
Oh, that's form, of course.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So different
All right.
applications, different MLSs.
Got it. All right. Consumer.
CIS is consumer info statement.
Yeah, that's what that CIS is. Okay. All right. Good. Next question, Jules.
Veronica, first of all, that's a very cool name. What books would be must reads or podcasts to listen to, in your opinion?
Okay,
Grit.
the three books right now are Grit. The marketing book, the best marketing book I've listened to is Pre-Suasion. Pre-Suasion. And this is all about focusing people's attention. And so example is a formal seller marketing consultation, coming in with a packet, a formal packet. That's persuasion that you're a professional. And that really ties in with the third book, is Becoming a Category of One. Separate yourself from being a commodity, because the premise of the book is the world sees us as a commodity, like in every industry, but in real estate, they see us as a commodity. How do you separate yourself from being a commodity to being viewed as a professional, a consultant, expert in our field? And so that comes, you can't make them guess what our services are. And we do research on this every year on presentations, mainly through relocation, because we send out our best against our competitors, and neither of us knows the seller. So what a great research to do based on listing presentations. And we're upwards of 70, 80% win rate because of our approach in a formal presentation for them. And of course, another item on this is the pre-listing packet. Another item is open house sign toppers to really attract people's attention. Make something special out of the ordinary. All marketing is persuasion. It's all psychology in what we're doing. It's just the same as launching a listing. You want everybody to show up at the open house. because it creates FOMO. To bring an offer forward. You only got a couple of weeks of prime time to get the home sold. So again, you want to get more traffic in, potentially no showings until the launch, until the open house. Then everybody shows up at once. So you have you create inertia and you flip it into FOMO. In marketing. So lots of these concepts come from these books: Persuasion, Becoming a Category of One, to separate yourself. So those are the 3 books right now. There's another. I have a bookshelf here. There's another 15 books on the bookshelf, but I'm not going to go through all those. Go Giver, Go Giver, Good to Great, Drive.
Go Giver, I love that book.
Color of Law. I'm just Kaizen. All these. Then I have some personal books, but they're all great.
Lennox, have you read anything from Gino Wickman?
I can't say I have.
All right. I highly recommend that you just look it up and look at some of his books. Gino Wickman. He's actually Floyd Wickman's son, but he's become a business consultant, and he's written several bestsellers. And I know some top agents have read some of his books, and they credited their success to his book. So that's one of the ones I'm reading now. And
Darryl, I should have mentioned Wickman. Another great trainer.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, thank you.
But I will add one book to the pile there, and it's published by McGraw-Hill, and it's called How to Become a Power Agent in Real Estate. So we'll just add that to the pile. Okay.
Darryl, I just want to add one more thing on leadership that's really helped frame who I am. Besides personal faith, in addition to that, I've gone through personal achievement seminars. The Pacific Institute, which is all about creating positive affirmations in the 8 areas of your life. A fabulous program. All of our leadership team is executives have gone through. And then another program I find is the best personal achievement seminar out there is Landmark Education, the Forum and the Advanced course. Just over the top of getting complete, but then creating a life you love and personal integrity of your word. And just open up, what do you want to create? What's important to you? And moving the conversation forward.
Well, I've just got to highlight this, and this is probably why I said this to you at once at one of the Risk Media, because you were on a panel at Risk Media, and I think you probably had just graduated from Landmark, because the speaking that you had, because I've not only have I attended Landmark, the Forum, but the Advanced course, the Mastery of Empowerment, which they retired, the 6-day. As a matter of fact, Lennox, I had a choice of, at one point in my career, I was in the introduction to the Forum Leaders Program, and I was going to make a decision to either be a real estate speaker. I had already been speaking, but now it was like, am I going to kick it up to the next level or become a forum leader? So I decided, obviously, the decision is clear, but this is another reason why I relate to you so well. And so everybody, what he just said, Landmark, the forum, it was a game changer for me in my real estate career. Okay, so I don't see any other questions, and we've hit our time, but if anybody has any last minute questions, I know somebody raised their hand. If you can open up the Q&A panel and write your question there, or if you can't find it, then I'm fine if you write it in the chat. And while that person or anybody else that has a last minute question, I am going to ask you, Lennox, if you were going to share one thing that you think brokers in whole should stop doing, and one thing that they should be doing going into 2026, what would that be?
Well, our mantra since 2022 has been be proactive and business smart. It doesn't cost any money for leadership, for inspiration and leadership. We all know what to do. It doesn't cost any money, basically, for relationships. To be engaged. Focus on one thing. How we got started out is we worked with our broker associates, a name and an email address. I didn't ask for 10 things. And then we developed the 46 market updates to cover our 3-state area. And we put their photo on it, their contact information. But that's how we got started 7 years ago. We wouldn't be where we were if we asked for 10 things because nobody would do anything.
Mm.
And now we're backfilling it, of course, with home anniversary and all these other items, and address, so we can do valuation updates once a year, all those sorts of things. We're backfilling everything. Then when we got to engagement, we had to teach the lost art of engagement. We only focused on one thing, and that was happy home anniversary. It's the happy call. It's the smile call. I'm going to speak your language. It's the smile call to be able to, but persuasion is you send them a text or a card to set the stage up for your happy call. Because then
Yeah.
it's not out of the blue. It's persuasion. Read the book. It's phenomenal. There's only one chapter I don't agree with in the book. You'll find it. I can't remember the chapter number, but because it's a little flim flam. But the rest of the book is gold for that. But that's another example of persuasion, to set the call up beforehand. So because they're in the mindset already because you focus their attention.
I'm going to ask Karen's question for her. What do you tell yourself first thing in the morning to get you going?
Well, I have my personal affirmations, and for me, my faith is important. So, thank you, Lord, for this day. I walk in your light, and I walk in your love,
Hmm.
and then I walk in your abundance. I'm a major contribution to others. I'm full of energy. I walk in joy. And I walk in the positive outcome. So these are the affirmations. I say a couple more faith-based ones in the car on the way to the office every morning. So I'm ready to go. I know who I am. I know a couple of the items I'm going to get done for the day, and listen to my podcast on the way in also for that. And I listened with the one podcast, being an executive, I listened to Thoughtful Money with Adam Taggart. And he brings in money managers to talk about the economy. It's a hour long, but I listen at 1.5 speed to be able to go through it. But it just gives a real good economic foundation. I wouldn't really listen to this if I were a broker associate. It would take up too much of your time.
Mhm.
There's the best leadership lesson I learned was from my dad when I was 17 years old. I'm an Eagle Scout at the base of Mount Fuji. I'm a patrol leader, so I have 7 other boys in my patrol. I get up early and start making the fire. My dad comes over because he's a troop leader over at the base in Japan there, and he says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm making the fire for breakfast." He pulls me over and says, "Well, you've got a choice here. Do you want to be the fire maker or the patrol leader?" And I said the right thing, and I'm executive here today. I said patrol leader, and then he went on to say, "Is if you're making the fire, you're letting your patrol down because you're not looking out ahead of about what you should be doing." And just like
Mm.
for broker associates, their foundation, they should be using a transaction coordinator in a nanosecond. And focus in on their database. Every week have scheduled times. That's where success happens, and we learn the skills at office meetings and other things as we go forward. But don't do this. And I share this story with every one of our executives because I don't want them doing somebody else's job. We all collaborate and help move the conversation forward of company objectives. But
Yep.
I hire. There's in that book, Good to Great. We have strong generals as our vice presidents. I don't want weak lieutenants. They're not waiting for me to tell them what to do. They're
Mm.
driving the conversation. They help us move forward as a team, just like our office leaders and broker associate support team. Thank you.
You know what? I'm gonna have to listen to this interview at point 0.5 speed because you've given just one answer. You give like 10 nuggets, and it's mind blowing. This is so good. Yeah, George just said I haven't stopped grinning and shaking my head to this whole interview because this was incredible. All right, now I want to make sure to put a pin in this, Lennox. Is there anything that you want to share that I didn't ask you that you feel is important that you want to convey to everybody?
Well, I'm proud to be a realtor. I love what the Association of Realtors do on a legislative basis nationwide.
Hmm.
We're working on. They're looking out for us on the GSEs. They're looking out for us. Maybe we can get institutional investors out of the neighborhoods buying up all the single family homes. AI is going to eat our lunch in this world if they keep going, because they're going to use AI. So they're taking a look at that. We have a powerful industry. We cooperate. It's cooperation. We all work with each other, even though we are in competition. But we share information to support each other's clients. I believe in 100% seller representation, 100% buyer representation, and also fair housing.
Awesome. Well, listen, Lennox, this is you actually exceeded my expectations. Do me a favor, everybody. Could you, first of all, this was incredibly generous of Lennox to go over our 1 hour, which says something about his commitment to the industry and making a difference. Could you please acknowledge him if you got any value with your hearts and the claps? But in addition, after you do that, could you please write in the chat why, what did you love most about this, or what value did you get the most? Actually write it in the chat, please, because that will be valuable for you to do that. It'll help anchor the value for today, and it'll help Lennox and myself to know that where we helped you. I mean, it's great if you guys liked this, but we want to know, how did we help you? So good motivational.
I'll just say, Darryl, it's a joy to help elevate the industry. You do that. Just want to put out there, if anyone on this podcast, if you need service for any client moving to the Northwest, please contact me at Lennox, Lennox, at johnlscott.com. Be glad to help you, or send me a note on anything. Thank you.
That's awesome, Lennox. All right, great. Julie just put the email in there. A lot of, hey, Kathleen, one of our agents. So this is great. I'm going to send this transcript to Lennox afterwards. And Lennox, we're going to go into post-production with this, and we're going to send you a version that you do whatever you want with it. And we've already started working on that for you. And I think that's all I want to say. All right. So again, thank you, Lennox, for the difference that you make in the industry, not just for your agents, but again, the entire industry. The legacy that you're leaving behind in what you do is just going to be amazing. And that's it. It was a real honor for me to have this conversation with you. And I know I'll be a better leader because of it. So thank you so very much.
Well, thank you for creating this environment, and I appreciate you, Darryl, and we'll see you down the road.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful day, and go make a difference. All right, bye, everybody.